Alright, so the Hawk is about to go redneck glamping down at Lake Eufaula. Got it all loaded up in the back of the F450. Camper ready to go. Let's see if we can go have a little bit of fun, maybe. Alright, it's the next morning. Set up at Lake Point State Park on Lake Eufaula. Camper all set up. Hot camping. Before we do any riding this morning though, I have to put on a new front brake master cylinder and handle. The old one just isn't returning all the way, so I'm driving around with my brake light on all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this this thing installed, and we'll be able to go do some riding without everyone thinking I'm stopping all the time, that brake light burning. But anyway, go ahead and get this done, and then see if we can get some running around done on the Hawk. She's nasty, needs a bath. Might go ahead and spray her off while I'm mad at me when I finish this up. That was a quick fix right there. It only took about 10 minutes to take the old one off, put the new one on, replumb it, and bleed the brakes, and feels so much better. Also, my brake light works again the way it's supposed to. Whenever I let off the brake, the light actually turns off. That was the main problem I was having, but the brake lever feels so much better now. That was, I think, a good change. This was a master cylinder for my KLR. It would have been a couple $100. This one here was only about $17 off Amazon. My brake on the rear was also feeling a little bit funny, so I also ordered a rear master cylinder and went ahead and swapped it out too. Yeah, that took maybe 15 minutes to get that one redone and plumbed and bled, and that feels a whole lot better too. But something I do want to show here. Now, there's the old rear right there. But if you don't have one of these little tools right here, this T-set, you definitely need to get one. These things are so handy. The way they're set up. This one is a metric one that has really all the tools that I need for my motorcycle. Let me see if I can get this handle out of here. So it's really convenient. It has 1/4-inch drives, of course, on both sides of the T. Right there, and then 1/4-inch drive right there. So you have a lot of leverage, you know, when you're really cranking down on a socket, you know, when it's on the T end, but then you can put things in quickly, you know, by spinning it when you have one on the end. So, you know, if you don't have one of these things, they're cheap. Amazon has them for less than $15. I'll show a picture of it. But yeah, those are really slick. It's amazing how often I pull that thing out over other tools now. It's just really convenient. So yeah, pick up a set of those and throw them in your tool bag. I definitely recommend. Here's a view of the lake. It's a beautiful day. It is hot. It's supposed to get up low to mid-90s here. There's our boat and truck right there. I need to get it put in the water here in a little bit and see if we can go catch some catfish. There's the camper. Got it all set up. So, a little bit about Lake Eufaula. It was created in 1962 by the construction of the Walter F. George Dam in Fort Gaines, Georgia. The lake was initially known as Walter F. George Reservoir. Then in 1963, the Alabama legislature more affectionately named it Lake The town of Eufaula, Alabama, is the main city along its banks in Alabama. Now, Lake Eufaula is an impoundment of the Chattahoochee River, which for most, well, actually probably about half of the state, it is the border between Alabama and Georgia. There's several impoundments along the way. West Point Lake up in West Point, Georgia, is kind of where it starts to be the divider between Alabama and Georgia, and then it continues down to the Florida line, pretty much being the state line between Alabama and Georgia. So we're staying at Lake Point State Park. It's at the north end of the lake where the Chattahoochee hits the impoundment. The state parks in Alabama were in pretty rough shape for several years. Our fearless leaders at some point decided, I think it was around 2012, but at some point they decided that they needed money for other projects. And they decided it was okay to start taking money from the entrance fees to the state parks. State parks got in pretty rough shape after that, though, with the state reallocating the money generated through gates and camping fees. The maintenance on the parks really went downhill quickly. The bathrooms were in horrible shape. The campgrounds were starting to fall apart. The fire pits rusting into the ground. The picnic tables rotting. Ultimately, in all probability, it led to the closure of 5 of our state parks. Probably because people just didn't want to go anymore because they were getting to be in such bad shape. Then in 2016, during the general election, it was put on the ballot in front of the people of Alabama, a vote as to whether or not the state should be able to rob the monies coming in through the gates. And the people decided that the state parks should be able to keep the money that they generate. So only recently has there started to be a difference in the condition of the parks. They're finally able to spend money to start putting things back together. We come down here to Lake Point State Park on a fairly regular basis. We like to fish. You saw the boat earlier in the video. My son and I go out and run catfish jugs and do very well here. Lake Eufaula is known as the big bass capital of the world. A lot of fishing tournaments are held here. Big tournaments. There's a big tournament happening this weekend. We'll get over to the boat ramp here and just see how many cars are here in attendance. One of the reasons I brought the Hawk down here this time, though, is another thing that is happening is when you buy gas in just about any state, there are taxes applied to that fuel that you put in your tank that are used, the monies are used for road maintenance. But what if you don't take the vehicle that you put that gas in on the road. Well, the state of Alabama has decided that off-road vehicles, ORVs, motorcycles, side-by-sides, that don't use the road, since they are purchasing gas and generating tax income, they've decided that that money can be spent on off-road trails. Now, one of the things here at Lake Point that went on the chopping block was a golf course, an 18-hole golf course, and it was shuttered here several years ago and sat dormant, had grown up. We decided that that would be prime land to turn into a off-road park. So they've been working on that. We're into July right now. It's the middle of July, and there was an anticipated opening initially of sometime of spring to early summer. It got pushed back, whether it was COVID that did it or other issues. Anyway, got pushed back, but they've had several other projects going too. They're opening up an archery course. That's almost complete. They've, in the campground and around the campground, they've opened up trails for golf carts. Not allowed to ride motorcycles on them. I was disappointed to hear that. I thought maybe they would be open to that. Some people are riding motorcycles on them, as the tracks would indicate, but I'm honoring their wishes and staying off those trails. They are partially open. Now there's straight ahead is the parking lot where all the bass fishermen are. All of these are bass fishermen, or at least a lot of them are bass fishermen, or as we affectionately call them around here, bass holes. They can be kind of rude out on the water. They'll run you over if you're not paying attention, and sometimes they'll run you over if you are paying attention. Their tournament money is far more important than your recreation in their eyes, so no love lost really between me and them. Lots and lots and lots of boats. You're taking your life in your own hands whenever they get the tournament started too. Have a couple hundred boats screaming off at 60-70 miles an hour. Tennis courts. There. It's a nice swimming pool. Cottages on the water. There is a beach. There's a shot of the back of the lodge. Lodge is just a hotel. They do have a restaurant in there. Anyway, there was a beach there, but we have a plethora of alligators in this part of the state. Swimming pool, clubhouse with bathrooms, playground. There's the lodge. I'm guessing the lodge will probably be getting some updates too. It's been a while since it's had much attention. Hopefully with improvements, the gate numbers will, well, not just the gate numbers, but I mean everyone's will come back to these areas now that things are getting fixed up somewhat. We'll see. Well, they have the entrance open here. There had been a cable across. So maybe that means I can at least ride back in here and poke around a little bit. And there's some of the turns. I've got turns banked. There's a jump and some more jumps back over there. Talked with one of the park guys here yesterday, and he indicated that what they're really pushing for right now is getting the certificate of occupancy on the clubhouse. That's the brunt of what they're working on. Actually, looks like it does have a lot. They have a lot of cleaning up to do here. They have all the stuff in place, but since they backed off to work on other things, this is looking a little bit rough right now. It looks like it has a lot of potential for sure. I'm not sure how much of the golf course they're going to occupy. Hopefully most of it. They're supposed to have different levels, and I think I heard there's supposed to be some single track here too. I'll head out of here because I don't think I'm supposed to be in here, but still just wanted to give a few shots of what it's looking like. That building had gotten in really rough shape since they closed down the golf course. So it's come a long way since then. I want to say this leads down to a little fishing area, maybe. It's been a couple of years since I was down here. Seems like it goes up here to a gate, but I can't even remember if that gate was open the last time I was down here. Let's see what it says. It is the Eufaula National Wildlife Refuge, which I forgot to mention that. The Lake Point State Park is nested in the Eufaula National Wildlife Refuge. There's a gate, so they have welcomed us in by leaving it open. There is a wildlife viewing area just around the corner. Probably take me 5 minutes to get there from here. Lots of deer, turkey, some ducks. There's a hawk. Little birds pestering it. I got a tree down across the road here. Let's see. It's like, what is that? Persimmon tree. Got some persimmons on it. Not ripe. Green persimmon will actually turn your mouth just about inside out if you have the misfortune of trying to eat one of those. Of course, they're extremely sweet when they get good and ripe. Well, let's just see if we can get through here without breaking anything. Let's try this. There we go. Probably the only one going to be back in here, though. This goes right back into a little slough. It's coming to me now. My son and I like to come out and fish. It would be just to my left right now through the trees, only about, I don't know, 50 yards. Great big alligators back there. The alligators in the national portion of land are protected. Alabama has an open season for alligators to control the population. The alligator population is not hurting in the state of Alabama. So we have an annual hunt to keep the populations down. It's a lottery. We've drawn several tags through the years and have taken some nice alligators. Probably back into the chiggers. I'm hitting all these weeds and I'm going to be itching. And there's a chance that this road does tie back into the backside of that viewing area. I've just not ever been in it this way, I don't think. Gate, because I want to say that's where I had to turn around last time. So yeah, this may go back around to that viewing area. It's good to see some dirt I haven't seen before. Now, mind you, I'm only wearing shorts right now and a short sleeve shirt, no protection, so I'm not going to do anything silly back in here. I don't need to lose any skin today. There's a deer. Of course, even though it is a refuge, deer hunting, I want to say, is allowed back in here by permit. They do have to keep those populations in check. Okay, no, this right here is actually up by that slough, I think, maybe. Right through there. A little further up and see what it looks like. That is hog sign right there, where the dirt's torn up. They are out here. Pig tracks running down the road. More pig sign right there. And there's another sign saying no vehicles beyond this point. So okay, we'll turn around. Pig sign right there. Pigs get in here like little bulldozers, just tear everything up. Realize my shoelaces hooked on the peg. I need to take care of that before I forget and fall flat on my face. What's it hooked on here? Let's tuck that up into my shoelace so that doesn't happen again right now. There we go. Maybe that'll stay. Better slow down. The deer population is sufficient out here that just at any minute I could have one come trotting out in front of me. I'm here to tell you, deer and motorcycles don't go well together. I like venison, but not that way. Well, that about does it for the riding portion of this video. Let's head out on the water, take a little bit of a boat ride, get some jugs set out to see if we can catch some catfish.
all, we set out 20 jugs, let them sit for a little while, and had absolutely no luck. Well, one bite, but that doesn't count. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
So it's in the morning right now. We're having to pack up early because my son has to go to work. I guess I was making too much noise, and one of the neighbors shouted over to me, "Don't you know people are sleeping around here?" My reply was, well, just because they sleep around doesn't make them bad people. I think that's going to do it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.